Ready. Ready to rock and roll? 7 o'clock. Tequila Wednesdays. It's definitely something new. There's a lot of exciting things that are going on. A lot of things we want to talk about today. Today we're actually going to mash up, right? Just like how you do in music, Daryl's a DJ. Just like how he does in music, we're going to mash it up. We're going to mash up Tequila Thursdays along with Live Dive, right? And one of the things that we talk about in Live Dive is how to position a deal correctly, credit score. But before we start off with that, let's introduce ourselves, right? We are a little light today with cast is because tomorrow we have an event. Tomorrow we have a big event. It's going to be all day. Your deals may get a little delayed. Our back office will still be handling it. They're still working. Mortgage department will also be here. But, we're attending events, a networking event for entrepreneurs. Okay, and one of the things that I want to experience everyone to in this office is how to network.
Yeah.
Right, which is very important. So first of all, to start it off correctly, Daryl, it's Tequila Wednesdays.
Yes, Tequila Wednesdays. Yes.
So number one is cheers, right? Cheers to everyone on Tequila Wednesdays. Cheers. Daryl's had a little bit more tequilas. Salud.
Salud, boys. Salud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 39th installment of Tequila Thursdays. Coming to you live on a Wednesday. The topic of tonight is going to be the credit trap. Are lenders too obsessed? Okay.
Well.
We're good to go?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So really quick. So we're going to start this evening with the credit trap. Are lenders too obsessed with scores? Again, as you guys know, I'm your host, Daryl Mills, a.k.a. El Mágico. To my left, I have the fabulous, the wonderful
Jose Martinez. I handle business development for Lendmate Capital and Fun Rock Capital. To our left, we have the one, the only one that you should actually know about because he makes it happen for you guys with your CRM systems.
Lucas Moura, President of Business Developer at Brokers Connection. Pleasure to be here with you guys.
How are you the president of business development?
Because I'm the only one in there. I don't have advice yet.
Okay. And someone underneath him. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So really quick. So welcome to Tequila Thursday on a special Wednesday edition. Tonight's episode is a deep dive into one of the most controversial topics in lending right now: credit scores. You know, are they really still the holy grail of underwriting, or have we moved past FICO worship? We're calling this one the credit trap. Are lenders too obsessed with scores? Because in 2025, the rules are changing, and so is the definition of risk.
Now, Daryl, is there a credit score? Is that influential for every program?
Not necessarily, and I think I know what you're getting at, Jose. Our revenue-based financing programs, they really do go off of, average yearly balances, how much you keep in the account. They look at your deposits, they look at, your transaction history, they look to see if, how your business is trending up and down. So there's other factors, but credit does also play a part in some of those deals.
Okay.
Because if you have a better credit score, it can affect the term. The term. What that means is that certain A-paper lenders that have the longest terms in our industry, 24 months, 18 months, 15 months, they want you to have a little bit of a better credit score.
Even on the banking side. It's the same thing. Even on what we started calling our premium pricing programs.
Yep.
Even on that side, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Credit score does play so I think that for those programs, it does play an important role. Right, credit score. There's a lot of things that go into credit, which we'll go into in a couple of minutes. But yes, credit score, and also too, whenever you're dealing with these types of clients, you have to understand what's the difference between a Vantage score, a FICO 8, a FICO 3. The new thing that's come out, recently this year, I believe it was 2020, was a FICO 10. Right, and a FICO 10, and we're going to review that. What's the comparison? I think now what a lot of banks do, what banks look at are FICO 8 scores. And just like how when you go purchase a car, it's not going to be the same credit score as if you go and look at a mortgage. It's not going to be the same credit score as if you're looking for a business loan. And that's one of the biggest things you have to understand. just because even on Credit Karma, right? Everyone says Credit Karma. Everyone pulls Credit Karma. I would love it if those scores were
if they mattered. If they mattered.
Yeah, Credit Karma is not a FICO, it's an Advantage.
It's called a Vantage score. So just make sure you understand that when it's Credit Karma, it's a Vantage score. But when you're dealing with banks for your clients, make sure that they pull what is called a FICO 8. Now, a lot of people also use My FICO IQ. My FICO IQ pulls a Vantage score. No, I'm sorry. My Identity IQ pulls a Vantage score. My FICO pulls a FICO 8. Okay, so that's the two differences. Identity IQ, Vantage score. FICO 8 pulls a I'm sorry. They're having technical difficulties.
There we go.
So Identity IQ is a Vantage score. My FICO is a FICO 8 score. Experian.com provides you FICO 8 scores. We prefer to go off of Experian when you are looking to take business funding. Okay, Darryl, you had sorry to interrupt you, but
no. So what I was saying is, the only thing that's really going to affect in our industry on the revenue-based funding side is the term, because if you have a 625 plus, some banks, some lenders want to see that you have a 650. Those are the banks that'll go ahead, or those are the private lenders that'll go ahead and give you the 24-month terms, the 18-month terms, even the 16-month terms. Once you start getting down to like 14 months, like 12 months, really you can have like a 550 and still get that long of a term. But if you have a better credit score in our industry, it affects term.
Yeah, no, and even for the programs, like I said before, the one of the biggest programs is our stated business lines of credit. You need a 680 score. But just remember, it's not always just a score. On the premium pricing side, on the banking side, when you're looking to get something that is a traditional banking program, it's not just the credit score. It's the credit profile, right? The credit profile is going to look at utilization. Your utilization is very important. Now, for a lot of you that don't know what utilization is let's assume that you have 2 credit cards with a $2,500 credit limit each. That means that you have a total credit limit of $5,000. Now, grab the utilization. Utilization means how much of those $5,000 have you used, right? What have you utilized? That's what's called utilization. If you use 20%, that basically means that your balances combined are $1,000. Okay, so 2,500, 2 cards, 5,000 total credit limit. Multiply that by 20%. That is a total of $1,000. If both your cards equal, the balance of both your cards exceed 20% or $1,000, if you have a $5,000 credit limit, then banks are going to be reluctant to provide you funding. And the reason why is because they do not want to provide funding for a business or someone that is struggling. Okay, so that's very important, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. Utilization. Other programs, you can increase utilization, so it doesn't matter. If you're going certain programs, you can go up to 30%. If you're going to the alternative route, right, which is what Darryl handles, or Darryl manages a lot, is they don't really care about utilization. And we've used a lot of the products, alternative programs, to pay down utilization for traditional programs.
Because in a sense, what they're doing is they're cleaning up their personal side and taking their personal debt and putting it onto the business, so to speak. Because you're taking funding through the business to go ahead and clean up yourself personally. So now the banks look at you as more bankable, and then you can qualify for bigger and better programs.
Which is honestly,
which is the end goal,
right?
That's the end goal. You know what I mean?
Remember, even your accountant. Speak to your accountant. There's no reason for you to transfer or to have your business expenses on your personal credit report, right? And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that are listening to us, that's the mistake that everyone makes, unfortunately, because they're not advised properly, right? It's that you go ahead and put business expenses on your personal credit card. You shouldn't do that. There are programs, we have programs in a house that help you deter that, move that from the personal to the business. You just got to send us over an email. If you're watching us on YouTube, just send us over an email. Whether it's jmartinez@lendmakecapital.com or it's Darryl at funrockcapital.com. Send us over an email.
Ideally, deals at brokersconnectiongroup.com.
Ideally, deals at brokersconnectiongroup.com. Just trying to get them out of there. No.
You can't break the protocol, bro. Don't break the protocol. Don't break the protocol.
What is it? Deals at brokersconnectiongroup.com.
Correct.
You know what? Since we're speaking about credit right now, and the importance
I
of credit.
came across one file this week, Darryl, that I wanted to make mention. and the guy was applying for the traditional, the premier pricing program.
Okay.
And then I looked at, we did a soft credit pool, and I looked at the credit. I was like, this guy isn't getting approved for anything.
Yeah.
It's like the guy had 80 negative marks. I was like, bro, not even if you submitted for a merchant cash advance, I was like, there's no way this guy's gonna get approved for anything.
Yeah.
30 minutes later, there comes in, $50,000 approved for this guy. I was like, how?
Yeah.
I wouldn't lend this guy $10 if I had it in my pocket right away. The guy only asking for $10. I wouldn't give him $10 based on the credit score, and yet Daryl was able to secure $50,000.
Why is that, Daryl?
No, and listen, that's the importance of, because again, the majority of the people that think that the most money that you make in this industry is just by being the best salesperson. I don't really agree with that. I think that the person that benefits the most from, I guess you could say like the broker side is the people that could submit the best. You know what I mean? And I know the guidelines from a lot of different banks and a lot of different relationships. And, Lucas is right that I kind of doubted it. I'm like, listen, this is a Hail Mary. If anybody's going to do it, this bank's going to do it. You know what I mean? And everybody declined it. The 11 banks that I went to declined it, but then that one last Hail Mary, boom, 50K. 50K, I think it was, 50K, 24 weeks. It was paying, 12 points. So from something where you thought that you weren't going to get anything, it's just about strategically, moving around, being able to pivot to different lenders.
And you know what? Actually, I gotta give you a round of applause, Daryl. One of the things you were doing. So like I said, like I mentioned, we have an event tomorrow. Daryl, amazing close. Listen, Daryl had to step out a little bit. He had to get his what's his name? Sammy Sosa, not Sammy Sosa.
Come on, Big Papi Ortiz, bro. David Ortiz.
Big Papi Ortiz haircut before the event. But you know what, though? He still, at the same time, because of the systems we have in place, because of everything that allows us to be remote. Right?
Yeah.
One vacation, you can be outside the office. Tomorrow, most people will be scared. Oh my God, I'm gonna be at a conference all day. Like, I'm gonna lose business. No. Everything is here, from the CRM to your email to everything. Everything is here. We're like doctors. But Daryl, I want to congratulate you because Daryl was able to close $150,000 at, guess how many points? Guess how many points he was able to close it at?
5 points.
Come on, man, never that low. No,
12%.
12 points. 12 points to the buck.
So just add it. So we can put it in perspective. That was a very short.
I know. Damn, that wasn't even a standing. That wasn't even a standing applause.
This is what happens when we don't have it. But what that means is just to show you, as far as to the systems that are put in place, everything is on the cloud. You're able to work anywhere. You have a back office that supports you.
Yeah.
Now that's a total of, just if you try to do the math, that's $18,000 that he did while he's getting a haircut. You understand?
That's such a good feeling.
There was a little
That's
bit
such a good
more
feeling.
behind it, but still, you did it in a matter of I think it was a day.
Yeah, realistic. Remember, they were on vacation. They were on vacation the whole month.
The client was on vacation, so he had to hold. The client came back, requested a payoff letter. As soon as we got the payoff letter, the deal funded, we received the email.
Yeah.
Online checkout.
Yeah, online checkout. They didn't have to speak to anyone.
There was no funding call. There was no way for them to mess it up.
They couldn't mess it up at all. Yeah, no, we had a deal die a little earlier in the week just because the guy messed up the phone call.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and that was the only place that we really had an approval from, and we weren't able to get the deal done. Sucks.
Yeah.
But
do you guys usually coach the people that, if it is their first funding and stuff like that?
Let me tell you, it's not coaching, but it's obviously just being able to just let them know to reiterate what the money, what the purpose of the capital is, right?
No, not even that.
Because it could seem like a bad thing.
No. Yeah, coaching sounds terrible. We're just reiterating what the process is going to be to go ahead and complete the funding. One of the processes is you have to speak with the underwriter and just really answer everything very broad, and it's just yes or no. That's really it. And it's not that coaching is really to tell them like the answer. No, just keep it very broad in general because, at that point in the process, less is more, right? You got to make them feel comfortable because usually the more questions that they start asking is because they're not feeling comfortable about something. Then once you start rambling and stuff, you get nowhere. We like to try to keep it the straight line always, even on the funding call.
Look,
Less is
we're
always
still
more.
getting phone calls right now.
Yeah.
If you can hear it in the background.
And that's the live transfer that we got a submission in today for, right?
Either they missed the call or whatever, they're transferring over now because we do have people working till 8 o'clock because we have to speak to or reach out to our West Coast business owners. And then so getting back into credit, right? So let's assume that the client doesn't have the perfect credit score at the moment. We have in-house we have alternative programs, right?
Well, you know what? I gotta cut you off.
Yeah.
We're not on that yet. Let's go back to my funding because that's really important. Okay. This is why this is really important, and this ties into. And this is great for how this ties into tonight. The guy had a 690 credit score. Okay. Now in banking, it's like entry level. Like now you're able to get into the club. You're 21 now. That's the 680.
Wait. I gotta interrupt you now. I gotta take a little bit of a step back.
Okay.
So how do we originate the deal? Right, the deal was originated.
We're gonna go like this. Let's do it.
We're hiring. We're doing mass hiring. Everyone that comes in, boom, we do the training. We this and that and the third. You have experience, perfect. Put you on the phone. This was through our email campaigns.
Yeah.
The same ones that you guys have access to through the.
Yeah, I actually showed them on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly the same system. It came from that system that you guys learned on Wednesday.
So I didn't even know that, but it plays into that. So just getting back into systems, right? And email marketing.
Yeah.
Our best deals that we've ever had have come from email campaigns. I don't know why.
The larger dollar amounts?
The bigger dollar amounts.
Yes.
Correct. And maybe it's because the business owner isn't available. So what happens? Now you have an office manager.
Yeah.
So the office manager is the one that handles the emails for the business owner, right? So maybe that's why, right? And then they present something. Hey, listen, this email came across. What do you want to do about this? Then they're like, oh, that actually makes sense. I just
No. Listen, the sickest thing is because he probably doesn't even know because he never spoke to the merchant. The merchant's wife, his office manager, was handling the file.
Yep.
And I never spoke to him. She handled everything, and all he had to do at the very end was just take a picture of his driver's license with himself next to it that says that he agrees to everything, and then the deal funded. But going back to what you said, how we market and how Lucas markets is, just like how you guys should market. You market for people with the better credit scores. This now better in the unsecured industry. 690 is great in the MCA business. Realistically 650 is amazing in the MCA business. So I was able to go to one of the best lenders in our space, and that particular lender gave me the cheapest cost of capital for them. And listen, this guy does $450,000 a month. I got him approved for $150,000. And then what happened? Tim and his wife just go away on vacation. They just go away. Yeah. They're like, "Daddy, what's the deal? We'll talk when we get back." And they went away on like the 8th or 9th, and they just got back on Monday. As soon as they got back, I'm right in their face. All right, now send over the terms, send everything over. They had to wait. We had to wait for a payoff letter to come back.
Oh, that took 2 days.
Yes, but the lender was working with us because this guy has a pretty good credit score. Tying back into that, and then. He got one of the best prepaid discounts in the industry. He got, as long as he pays it off after 91 days, he has to wait till that time goes by. After 91 days, he gets 100% interest forgiveness on whatever interest is left on the remainder of the deal.
Huge. That's amazing because no one gets that. But
yes.
What we were saying before, and I know you're excited about your approval, but I'm excited about just to tell everyone, listen, you have to understand the systems are there for a reason. The systems we use it. We only provide you feedback or systems or processes that we've already gone through. Right? So it's not really feedback, I'm sorry. It's more of a proven concept.
Yeah.
What works. Right, and just to like I mentioned before, we're doing mass hiring. There was one employee that came in, right? There was one gentleman that came in. The guy was great on the phone, amazing guy. He was, I think he was doing stocks, right? But still, he just got back into an industry and had to build a book of business, etc. But when you're in stocks, you already have a book, right? So you don't want to start from ground zero. So this particular deal came in through email campaign. I was like, listen, you know what, Daryl. As the manager, the floor manager, here you go. Who are we giving this out to? Or take it yourself. He's like, no. Let me give it over to the new guy. I want the new guy to understand because he sounds great on the phone. I want him to understand that this is what we do here.
Cheers to that.
Make sure, cheers to that, because he wasn't selfish. Let's make sure that he sees the type of the deals that we bring in. First deal, first day. You come in, and all of a sudden, you have bank statements showing it was a couple of $100,000.
Yep.
Right? And it was great. You know, everything was exciting, et cetera, so on and so forth. Then that day, he calls me up. Unfortunately, hey, listen, you know what? I think I'm going to stick back to what I have going on just because I don't want to start all over again. I understand it. Not a problem. Okay. But just to tell you this, one man's trash is another man's treasure. On top of that, you don't know what you have until you see it through completely. Because then Daryl was like, all right, I'll take the deal. Takes the deal, submits it, does what he does. He works his magic. All of a sudden, it's like approval. Then he's like, yo, I just got $150,000, and it's a line of credit. Lines of credit, I think it was a monthly payment, right?
Yeah.
Right, it's a monthly payment. Well, I was like, yo, great, perfect, run with it. Then he's like, wait, I spoke to the client, you know, was on vacation. I was like, I'm sorry. Sometimes being in the space, you just want deals to close quickly. If they don't close quickly, you think someone else is going to contact them. So you become an optimist.
He's right, but he's right. He's right.
So now I'm like, all right, Daryl, no problem. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Now the week comes. I'm like, Daryl, what's up? We got this deal going on. He was like, yo, I'm working it. Okay?
I got it, bro. Just let it go.
Okay,
Chill.
You got it. If you need a second voice or a professional, let me know. But then we're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this done. Let's all right, work your magic. Then the client says, yes, I want this amount of money. Then it's like, you know what? I want a payoff letter. So now I'm like, oh my God, a payoff letter. What do you mean? So now we have to wait 2 days in order for the payoff letter to come on because it was insane. Right, just waiting for it because they wanted to make sure that it didn't default, et cetera, so on and so forth. Till today, we finally got it. I think he got it. You received it about 4:30.
Yeah.
Then
it was later in the day.
The lender's rep was like, okay, let's do it. Matter of fact, let's be proactive. How much they want, so I can have everything ready.
Yep.
Boom. Just because you don't understand, and like I said before, just because it's an alternative program, it doesn't mean that it's a bad deal.
Yeah.
You know, you got to know how to present it to them. I think you pulled out the amortization calculator. You pulled out
all the stops. Anything that I possibly could have done, I had to try to do to get this done. And, you know, it's tough sometimes when you're not speaking with the decision maker, right? Because I'm speaking with the wife. Husband's never available. They make $400,000 a month, whatever the case is. And, you know, so we hit some hiccups along the way. You know, some, complaints about fees and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, because he had a good credit score, she could not refute and she had other offers. That 100% interest forgiveness is a monster. You know what I mean? Like just dealing, any other broker that was up against that was going to lose 10 out of 10 times. You know what I mean? Because I think her end-all rate, if she takes it the full 9 months, is going to be a 1.379. But if she pays it off after 90 days, I mean, it drops to like a 1.17, 17 cents on the dollar, which is ridiculous. And she's like, Daryl, we need money like this to put into our jobs because, you know, we're pretty much we're net 90. So we get paid 90 days after the job. But as soon as I get that in, pay it off, and then we want to take more money every 90 days. So hopefully that could be a nice check, 4 times a year.
And listen, you know what? And once again, just going back to real facts, is today I had an interview that came in, and I interviewed them, and you know what? It was just he was experienced in the MCA, but he had a negative experience in the MCA. He was like, oh yeah, those programs, they're predatory, a 40% interest rate, and this and that. I'm very passionate. I love cash advances.
Yeah.
Because if you know how to use a cash advance correctly, it's going to make you a lot of money. The problem is that because at times you have a lower credit score, you get as a business owner, you get excited. Finally, someone approved me because the bank kept shutting the doors on me. You take the money, but you don't use it correctly.
Yep.
Or you get it from someone that doesn't know how to explain to you how to use it.
Yep.
Because, Daryl, last time we were talking about it, and you made a statement which is 100% correct. Jay Martinez training classes available. Where
guy's crazy.
Where it's what we talk about is like, Bob, listen, only use whatever you're going to use only take whatever you're going to use in 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
If it exceeds anything after that, it's expensive. You're going to call me back. You're going to be upset at me because you're going to say, Jose, you gave me a bad deal.
Yep.
If you know how to use this money, first of all, you have to use it within 24 to 48 hours. there has to be a substantial return on the investment.
What doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Then pay it off early.
Yeah.
Right. Most people, most construction companies, hey, listen, I net 90, right? 30, 60, 90 days. But you know what? It's okay. That's fine. If I give you this money, as soon as you get the remaining money or the money that you're expecting or waiting to get, pay it off right away.
That's
if
it.
You pay it off in 30 days. Trust me, the cost of capital is so little.
It can even get down to 8 cents on a dollar with some lenders.
It's crazy.
8 cents on a dollar if you pay it off in 30 days.
But most people do not know how to explain it to a client, because how many times every single contract should go out with an early payoff discount.
Yeah.
Every single contract should. Lenders have that, right, in the MCA space.
But you have to request it.
You have to request it. You have to know about it.
But a lot of brokers don't know that. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know how to sell this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's quick money because, some of these banks pay rather quickly. You know what I mean? And that's why people like this industry. But people don't really know that you can make so much more money if you are able to go ahead and create a roadmap for these people. Somebody that needs to, is looking to flip money because they're a liquor store and the holidays are coming up. This money makes sense. We can get it to you same day. And then once you have like your bulk order, now you're getting the pennies on the dollar. You're buying your bottles for pennies on the dollar at this point, and you're able to go ahead and flip that for high returns, and then you just pay us off, and it's so cheap. You know what I'm saying? But people use the money for the wrong stuff, and then they take the money, they run out of the money, and then they start taking money to make payments for the money, and then that's when they start to spiral.
Yeah, no, it's you just have to know how to use it.
Yep. Or lose it. I want to lose it.
But all right. So now, all right. So Lucas, I know that tech really isn't a lot. Like it's not a lot of this segment. So I need you to be the narrator because I want to get you involved. What are we doing? The technology is not really part of this, unless you want to weigh in. But I want you to be the narrator today. We would love for you to be the narrator today because this is what we're going to talk about.
Well, listen, really quick before you start to.
Darren's gonna have to translate everything.
Because I don't want to translate yet. I don't want to translate just yet. But one of the things that I want to ask you from a marketing standpoint, where do you see, where over the years of you marketing, where have you seen better influx of deals? When you market to people with credit scores that doesn't really matter, or when you market to a specific credit score?
It's very tough to get leads that have credit scores, so you don't really know who you targeting. You target through the message, right? So if you advertising traditional programs, everybody wants that, so everybody's gonna bite, right? And then it's your job as the salesperson to either set the expectations for the guy, like, hey, you need to get up here. Right now you're down here. So let's build a roadmap and get you up there and make the sale on the cash advance is something that's going to build the guy up. So I think if you're doing traditional programs, the best programs out there for the marketing, that's the best way of getting people in. And then relying on the sales guy to actually make the sale and make the roadmap.
And your systems.
Yeah.
Now, Lucas, I have another question. Because
a lot of questions.
Because yes,
a lot of questions.
No, you want to know why? Because
also, let's do this because Jay and Alfonso have joined us today. I know that it was such a short term,
last minute. Yeah.
Jay and Alfonso, please unmute yourselves and let's be interactive, right? This is like the round table. It's
as if you guys are hanging out with us.
Yeah, come on. If you can, let's. You're.
Or if you guys are at an airport or something, you guys can't talk. No worries,
but get involved.
We would love if you guys got involved. We're with some bros sitting here. Now, Lucas, you are my boy and you market. So I'm going to pick your brain a little bit since this is also like a little bit of a live dive, right? I want to live dive in you, okay? So, really quick. Why are you laughing, bro? So Lucas, when you are marketing to people with high credit scores, right? Do you feel as though sometimes we might not get an influx of people applying because they're afraid or they don't know their credit score? Do you feel like it would be better to market to just anybody? Like, I really want to dive into why you've switched over the years, because you pivoted, and anytime you pivot, we're very successful. But I want to know what trends you follow, what newspaper you're reading. How do you kind of pick up on that?
Try and error. To be honest with you, you gotta be up to date with the new programs. and create new hooks. I know that Jose comes up every quarter. He has a different program that's really hot.
Yeah.
And nobody ever heard about it. So you gotta just create a couple of different hooks.
Yeah.
See which one it's getting the most traction, and then you just flip the whole campaign into that one hook and go for it.
Because you pivoted so much over the years, I want to kind of give you a flat radical. Can you clap it up back there for Lucas really quick? Clap it up for my boy, because my boy even just went back to MIT just to take a couple of classes and figure out how we're gonna
did check his credentials. He did.
like how to make more money. Like he did that. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go do it. You know, that's me trying to sound like him. I'm just gonna go do it. So gotta give Lucas his flowers, and that's why he's the brains, and he's able to go ahead and put a lot of this stuff together. Just a mind, and I always got to give him his flowers. But Lucas, because remember, our hook changed so many times over the years. At first, it was, hey, listen, SBA loans are rates are really low, giving 10-year terms. Then it went to lines of credit. Then it went to business credit cards as low as 0%. Like you just pivoted so much over the years. Do you remember like one particular campaign where you just tried out like a random message and you hit for so many deals and we closed so much? Do you like remember like that time period of what that message was?
Yeah, I think the most successful one I ever had was 105 submissions in one day. It was for the business line of credit.
You did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
He kept screaming at me, Jose.
I was like, yo,
you're coming in. What's going on? You guys are closed. I mean, look, you gotta brag,
we were at a casino, I think.
Yeah.
We were all at a casino hanging out, and the leads just started getting in. I was like, I was just laughing because I know that was getting auto assigned to the agents, and everybody was getting notification and looking up, and it was 105 in the span of like a couple hours.
And you know what? That's the reason why everyone plays their role.
Yeah.
Right? Like I tell Lucas all the time, Lucas, if it has to do with tech, it has to do with marketing, I just don't even need to be involved. Not because I don't need to, because I don't understand what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Right? You guys are speaking a different language.
The whole different level of intellect, man.
Let
It's
me
for
take
real.
care of sales. In sales, I'll take care of sales. I'll take care of everything else. Product knowledge. Give me a product. We'll figure out a way to present it, because everything is perception, right? How do we present it the correct way? How do we go about it and attack it? How do we come up with a sales pitch? What? And to be honest with you, a lot of sales pitches I take credit for, but it really is down.
It really is me.
Can you guys please? How do you even say that? What do you? Say that one more time. Say that one more time for the people at home.
You know what? I'm gonna rephrase it just because he is not grateful. ChatGPT. ChatGPT gives us a lot of no. But seriously, you know what it is, and because of from experience, Darryl is someone that I can trust blindly. That you know what, if there's a client that I that's mine, that I know needs perfect service,
like Mr. McKenzie.
He does it, Mr. McKenzie.
Hello.
You are there. If you're watching, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna send you the link.
Send the link.
McKenzie Landscaping. Please check it out. Arkansas, not Arkansas, but it's in Arkansas.
Yep.
But yes, so it was. You made me lose my.
No. You said you let me handle your important clients.
No, I let you handle the important clients, but yeah, but on top of that, it's systems, right? And everyone plays their role. Lucas knows systems.
Scripts and stuff.
No. But aside from that, I was saying that everyone plays their role because he knows that systems need to be in place. I know that because whenever anyone speaks to a client, right? Let's say a new hire, James speaks to a client, he's hitting a button saying connected or app out. Then that means that then now the system acknowledges something that Lucas has done. Okay, now it goes into a certain disposition. After a certain disposition, it goes into a certain workflow. I think that's what it's called, right?
Correct. Yeah.
A workflow. Now, a workflow means that after whatever you programmed it, after a couple of days, there's another message going out, right? I don't know that. To me, it's like Lucas, just make it happen. This is what we need. This is what happens, etc. But that just goes to say that use your systems, use what you have on hand. Because it is companies, Fortune 500 companies. That's what they're doing. Right? What do they use a lot? Salesforce. What is Salesforce? Salesforce is just a company that's amazing that was able to integrate everything together to make it happen. We had a conversation.
Yeah, they were the pioneers.
Yeah, we had a conversation. I don't know.
I don't know about that, but
they're the biggest ones out there.
They're the biggest ones because they had the most amount of money. But Salesforce, I'm going to hashtag Salesforce. But listen, you know what it is? At the end of the day, we had a conversation with Salesforce today because we wanted to see what else was out there. How can we? Because
we had Salesforce before.
We did, right? But we did. Then we dropped it. and we dropped it because it was a lot of
Six
money.
figures just to set
It
up.
was insane just to set it up. But
fully customizable.
Yeah.
But this is what.
So is your CRM.
Yeah. Yeah.
At
Yes.
$50 a month.
Yes.
now, just so you know, Salesforce was saying, hey, you want 12 agents? You know how much it is? $25,000. 25,000. 12 agents. I came back to him. I said, Lucas, what are we doing? We're giving away a CRM system for $50. Well, it was $50.
Now it is $50.
It's still 50. Well, you dropped it?
No. Membership is 50 and the CRM is 50.
Okay.
So the CRM is not
Membership
included
50.
with the membership.
And
anymore.
because I think they wanted to charge $175 per
$175
rep,
per seat.
and that didn't even include the
seat.
dialer. It included anything, nothing. No. It was a license. That's what it was. It was a license. Then you had to pay someone
Yep.
to be able to build it out for you. This guy's here for free with his team. All you have to do is schedule.
Send me a message.
Send him a message. I'm like,
I'll
wait,
make
hold
you a
on.
short
This is
video.
insane. And we had a great conversation with them, but it was just, just understanding because as a sales representative that you guys are, or someone, entrepreneur, you have to always understand what the angle is, right? There's an angle everywhere.
Yeah. Always.
What's
Someone's
going on?
getting sold every second of every day in every conversation.
So when we got into the conversation, right, everyone starts off, so tell me about your business. How much money do you spend? Do you know why they ask you that? Because they want to know how much money you spend right now, how much leverage they actually have, right? That's one. Then, okay, how quickly does your company need to move forward? I said, wait, hold on. So
How soon do you need the money?
right, exactly. So
Yeah.
I said, wait. I said, listen, guys, let's just. I just want to get straight to the point. Sometimes it works against me, but it's like, listen, guys, I already had this conversation with everyone else. I've used your Salesforce before, but I just want to know what pricing is. Now I get it, and one thing is you have to understand when you're speaking to a lot of these big companies, it's we're gonna give you a big package depending on how many people you sign up, but there's a setup cost. Setup cost is going to take 4 to 6 weeks. But if you hire our representative that's Salesforce
Certified or something, yeah.
it would get expedited. But before that, they said, hey,
And I asked the guy, I was
Yeah.
like, what language is this on?
said-
How
yeah,
hard is
which
it to
was-
code?
which was
He was like, oh,
hilarious.
it's drag and drop. I was like,
I said, wait. And I told him, I was like, Lucas, so they're telling us it's like a Wix page where you drag and drop. But I got to pay. We have to pay. But you have to understand the reason why they do that. And just understand why. And this will make sales so much easier. You have to understand. So there were 3 people on the conversation. There was a person that I spoke to, which was the sales representative. There was another gentleman. And then there was the Salesforce office, I guess corporate, in a conference room. I said, okay, so based on the experience that we have, the person on the left, which is a young lady that I spoke to, that told me all the good things about the programs, everything else, she's the connector. She's the one that connects you to the company, right? She's the affiliate. She's the one that gives you the lead. Now, there's a company called Salesforce. Salesforce now is the one that's saying, hey, so tell me a little bit about this and this and this and this and this and this, but we'll give you pricing, but this is what it is. But the person in the middle was the person that is also saying, hey, Salesforce, I'm going to get certified by you. They got sold. I'm going to get certified by you. And when I become certified, Salesforce says, hey, I will go ahead and give you clients. So pay me more money, which is insane. I'm just thinking about it. It's logic. A lot of these sales are just logic. Think about who's involved. Why would there be 3 people involved into a
Trying to make you make a decision on what
That's it.
CRM you want.
And then everything was, hey, listen, but it is a drag and drop, but you need to be able to hire a professional that's going to do this. That's going to do that. I said, okay, I get it. Now, listen, I've done this before. So I'm like, wait, hold on. So you're telling me that me hiring a professional is going to save my time, that I don't have to do it on my own? We have a team already. You're saying it's going to save my time, right? Yeah, it is. So let me ask you a question. So if I get on the phone and I hire the team is going to say, hey, Jose, I need to understand what are your expectations. I need to understand what your business is. What are you going to do? Hey, we have to set up a call for you to get on. It's called a discovery call. I have to figure out what you do, what you don't do, for me to set it up correctly, to do this, and the third. I'm just like, yo, are you guys serious? And everything is a sale. Going around and round and round in circles. Last thing I did say, and listen, hopefully they don't They don't, you know,
They don't hold it against you?
They don't hold this against us. But listen, this is what we do. We go in and experience it all to be able to give it back to you.
Yeah.
I said, let me ask you a question. You're telling me that even if I hired someone, it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to set it up. They want to get a commitment from us for 12 reps, right? We said, we're going to start off with 12 reps. They said, okay, so we'll send you a contract out for 12 people. I said, but why do I want to do that?
Yeah.
It's going to take me 4 to 6 weeks to set it up. What's the minimum people that sales reps like licenses
To start it up right now.
Oh, well, it's 1. Okay, so why would I do 12 if it's going to take me 4 to 6 weeks to set this up?
Yeah.
Can I start off with 1 and then upgrade to everything else, right? Because
Why would I pay for the license? Just
no one is going to tell me, or if you're a business, you're never going to tell anyone, hey, I don't want to scale up. I don't want more seats or what I've already built.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you. I don't want to elaborate more on this. But listen, just understand, we do all the work for you. Tell us what company it is, if anything, that you feel is great that does this and the third. We've tried our phone systems. We tried out sales CRM systems.
Yep.
They all don't work, right?
They work as long as you work the thing. So no matter how good of a setup you have, if you're not working the CRM, it's limited.
Listen, but reality is this: our company scaled at a whole different It scaled at a whole to like another dimension as soon as Lucas started implementing the AI into we were there was a company that I tried to get us signed up with back when we were with another company over here in Islandia, and it was they could send text messages, and then the AI will keep up the conversation. We were gonna sign up with them. They were very expensive back in the day, and then Lucas goes ahead and figures out how he can go ahead and incorporate that into our CRM live and direct today. And now the people are like the people we're marketing to are having conversations with the AI, and then we walk into deals. And I have to say, it really is like remarkable that there's technology out there that it could literally be your sales assistant when you're sleeping and can do your follow-ups. Depending on the different stages that you guys have set up, it'll send out certain emails or certain text messages to always keep your client engaged. It definitely is a game changer.
Alfonso, what do you think? I mean, you gave us a thumbs up. We want to get you engaged. What do you think about this? The conversation, credit score, systems, AI. How's that going for you? If he can unmute himself, ask to unmute. It's always great to have someone that interacts. Alfonso. All right, Alfonso, we'll get back to you. Just unmute yourself whenever you're ready. Jay, if you are ready to unmute yourself as well, let's just have a conversation. We just like to make sure that everyone is engaging.
Yeah.
All right,
Now, Jose, I wanted to ask you a question.
Oh, there he is.
That's about it. Jay, what's up, Jay? How's it going, man?
Oh, whoa.
Alfonso, sorry, I'm in the hospital.
You good, brother?
Hope everything's great, Alonzo. Thank you for tuning in. Hope all's well. What's going on, Jay? How's it going, brother? Good. Quick question, Jay. If you don't mind me asking, just because I have never spoken with you before. What do you kind of do for a living, or how do you kind of drive your business to whatever you do?
Well, I just signed up in June.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
work in banking for a living.
Nice.
Okay.
And
What
I
bank?
do some MUFG. Mitsubishi UFG is a Japanese bank.
Oh, okay.
Jay, do me a favor. Just listen, community. What we do is we all work together. Jay, do me a favor. Can you send me an email, if anything, after this? jmartinez@lemoncapital.com. I want to understand what your guidelines are. Maybe there's clients that I can send you over within your footprint. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't do any lending and stuff in my day to day. I work in markets like stocks and bonds and stuff. So this is what I invest in real estate on the side, which is why
Nice.
I signed up because and I've sent you and Stanley a couple messages and stuff about potential clients and stuff, or potential deals.
Okay. So, all right, perfect. Now, let me ask you a question. As far as just getting back into credit scores and systems and topics, how is that? How do you view that, or how do you evaluate a client when you're speaking to them? Like, does that play a role? Do you ask them that question? What do you do?
Honestly, like this is a lot of new stuff to me with the FICO, because most of my experience in my career has been with, like, regular owner occupied bank mortgages and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and when I've got them on when I've got private money on my own,
Okay.
it's different. So actually, this was my joining this is partially my way to leverage my network, but also to learn exactly like this side of finance, because I could actually really bridge the gap between all this private money and
Jay, so I'm reading your message right now.
Radical, clap it up for Jay really quick. Clap it up for Jay in the chat, Jay. That's what's up, Jay.
Jay, can I ask you a question? Where are you joining us from? You can't cut it.
No, he needs to cut it. Otherwise, it goes
Jay,
wrong.
where are you joining us from? Where do you reside?
Sacramento, California.
Okay.
Nice.
Two things.
447 over there.
Two things. One is in California, we actually have what is called the stated business line of credit for business owners that have been in business for 2 years. We can give them up to $50,000 if they have a 680 plus credit score with no bank statements, no tax returns needed. It's important. And that's huge, because now that's going to set you apart from everyone else. Because when they do traditional banking, they want bank statements and tax returns. Now, I just pulled up. You sent us a deal on the 26th, right? And do you mind if I read it?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So he said, Jose, listen, I just listened on Tequila Thursdays. I was exchanging some DMs with some people on social media. I received an inquiry from someone who wants to basically do the BRRRR system, right? But he's looking for the highest LTV possible on the initial purchase, but 20 to 30K into rehab. Then to refinance to DSCR, I told him to fix and flip. Products can go up to 90%, purchase price 100% in rehab, but he's not planning on completing it with the sell part and just wants to refinance, which is fine. What exactly would you advise for him to do to apply? Okay. So on this particular client, one of the biggest things is that you have to understand. So experience plays a big role, whether they're getting 90 or 100% experience. So they have to have at least 4 flips in the last 5 years, right? So they have to have 4 flips in the last 5 years. If they don't have that, we can still provide the financing, but it's going to be 20% down, where we'll finance 80% of the property, 100% of the rehab. Everyone would love to do that. We can provide them that. We can provide them those options. In some cases, we work with a lot of real estate companies that can provide them the properties. But for someone to be able to do that, one of the biggest things is you have to understand, what is the ARV. Whenever you're doing something, what is the ARV? Whatever the ARV is, multiply that by 70 to 75% would be the max. Just to be safe. We can go up to 85% if the credit score is at 700. But let's say 75%. Then subtract that by the purchase price and subtract that by the rehab cost. If at the end of the day, if that number is positive, we are able to move forward. If it's negative, it means that now the client must put more money down to make that happen. We have to turn that number positive. The reason why is because whenever you're doing a fix and flip, you always focus on the exit strategy, which is how the new loan, the takeout loan. Can I qualify for the takeout loan? Right, and that's what's going to go ahead and pay off the short-term financing. On the fix and flip, you'll get let's say 80% on the purchase, 100% on the rehab, but it's an interest-only payment, and it's only for 12 months. It's a short term, right? So that's something that you have to. What we'll do here, but one of the things is also whenever you go ahead and have a link, when you sign up for Brokers Connection, you get a link. Please put everything through the link because it's going to go through the proper channels. Scenarios are great, and we'll look at them. But when you submit a link, you fill out the link, it comes into a pricer, which goes directly to our back office, which are the people that submit it to the lenders. So if you don't have a link, let's send me an email.
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
I got one, and what I was running into is most people want to talk. What I've found is everybody wants to know, at least at a cursory level, if they're going to qualify for what they want before they actually fill it out. Because I've sent it to several people, and then we come back with just more like questions.
So,
And I'm like, well, we'll find out if you fill it out.
Jay, I like that answer because listen, you have to go into live dive. In live dive, I'm always available on the Tuesdays, right, to be able to answer any questions. But even aside from that, if you go ahead and send over the price, there's a comment section where it's like, hey, give me a call beforehand before we get this done. And what we rolled out the beginning of this month was you can now make 50% of the deal. You know the client, you know the deal, you know everything else. If you want to take care of it on your own, you get 50%. We don't involve any sales representative. But if you say, hey, I like you said, you do stocks. If we involve someone else, you can definitely have a conversation with them. They'll go ahead and get it done. It's a different percentage, but let's figure out how to get this deal done. And I can assign you someone, but as soon as it comes into the pricer, there's going to be two options. Do you want to close a deal, or do you want someone in our office to close a deal? When you click on someone in our office to close a deal, they will reach out to you to make this happen. Okay?
No, you know what? I have to say, Jay, I don't know if you've, I know you have tuned in before, but, this is my first time having like a little bit of like a slower paced pod. You know what I mean? And, I've tuned in before, but I've never been a part of the panel when we do like live dive or anything like that. So I just want to let you know that just the fact that you guys are even able to, go ahead and converse about like what's going on with this deal is just dope. It's just another layer to, everything that we do here at Brokers Connection. Because I'm used to Tequila Thursdays, we're loud, we're telling jokes and stuff like that, but it's a little more, for lack of better terms, it's a little more intimate on the Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and you guys can really, go over it. No, not that intimate. Not that intimate. No, but, just... This was dope. Hopefully that was dope for you, and hopefully you bring more deals. And I look forward to seeing you next week when we actually have a crazy Tequila Thursday. We're making jokes and stuff. We're going to shout you out, sure.
Hold on. Did you guys, Lucas, you as well? Did you guys hear about the SBA? And there was a friend of ours, Oceans, if you're listening. Ocean sent us over a text message to the group, right, to the company. And it was regarding the SBAs.
Yeah.
Trump signed something or said something regarding the Small Business Administration, which helps small business borrowers to borrow money.
Well, they insure the loans, right?
No, yeah, but I didn't know. So I guess, because I know what happened on the mortgage side.
It's the same as Fannie Mac and Freddie Mac and Fannie Mac or whatever.
Fannie Freddie.
It's the same as Freddie and Freddie. If you want to sell, if you want them to insure it, you have to follow their guidelines. So SBA is the same way for the business.
But this was I guess there were unfair practices where people were getting declined, not just because of religion, but because of their beliefs and policies, which to me was like, really?
What do you mean beliefs? Beliefs and religion is the same.
No, but beliefs would be religion policies. Beliefs and religion policies.
Now, how do they possibly figure that out?
I think that that maybe I think there's a lot of exaggeration, but I think that it was a lot of people in the agricultural SBA stuff and in warehouse stuff, manufacturing. It was those folks that were, they think, unfairly targeted because they're all kind of very conservative areas. And so I think they were just kind of connecting the dots that they were unfairly denied.
But Jay,
certainly 100%. If you walk in with the Trump shirt in California to a bank, they're going to say, fuck off. I don't have anything for you.
California's a big place, man. I don't know.
Jay said it was about us West Coast dudes.
People in New York as well. New York, they're going to be like, Trump fan over here. No, they're not going to.
But that just put things into perspective. That something like that can still influence a decision within the bank, etc.
Hey, wait, hold on. I want to piggyback on that because I think I know where you're going with this. But I want to say the SBA is I don't want to say it's like a crock of shit because that's I can't say that. But this whole E-Trans score that has no metric, no one knows And just so you guys know, the E-Trade score is kind of the SBA's like.
No, it focuses on several different factors.
Yes, but they don't tell you what the factors are. So what I'm saying
Why
is,
give up the secret sauce though?
but what I'm trying to say is, what if it's not secret sauce? What if that's just the leniency that they have to go ahead and disqualify people based on whatever the hell they want? That's what I'm trying to say. Because
But they
not a
can't
conspiracy
see,
theory.
It's an
they
extra
can't see
strategy.
color and beliefs on a piece of paper, bro. So the people on the SBA, they're not doing it. The people in the bank, they're taking the application. Those are the ones screening the people. And those are the ones getting the letter from Trump. It's not the SBA itself. The SBA is sending the letter saying, hey, you guys are
doing some
Yeah.
stuff that looks a little funny.
It happened the same with the mortgage a while back, no? Before 2008, I think it had like a big thing.
What Trump's plan of action is that as of December 5th of 2025, banks have to change that, right? They have to change that. They have to check for different types of policies or different type of guidelines. And honestly, if a business owner is being judged on race, religion, or any other factors aside from their business income and their financials, it is, it's unfair, right? And I guess in mortgages, I think it's called redlining, right? Where you can't be, you shouldn't be able to do that. And I think that's, I just think that it's something that, you know what, if it does happen, because I don't know, if it does happen, then you know what, it
really
is
unfair.
But the problem with the SBA as well, when you're doing the guy, when you underwriting the file, is that they take a lot in consideration on what you're using the money for.
Okay.
So it's,
Yes.
to interpretation
but
who's doing the application.
Hold on, but you
so
also
that's
have to
when
remember.
they F you up.
Now, listen, we're all for it, but then we have to be devil's advocate, right? But aside from that is now the SBA stopped paying off any cash advances. If you're a business owner, you had to take quick money to pay that to sustain the business. An SBA program.
They're not billing. Yeah, they're not billing you out
But
anymore.
you open up another window for us, even
Of
better.
course. Now we take that into consideration where, you know what does that mean? What programs are you not allowed to do? If you want a traditional SBA program, then you need what? Last 2 years business tax returns, last 2 years personal, last 4 months bank statements, you need your business debt schedule, and you need an application. That's gonna pay everything off, right? That's in a UCC. But the benefit about what we do is we also have programs that do not require you to pay off UCCs, whether you defaulted on a cash advance, whether you have $1 million UCC file, which is, I'm only speaking about a real live scenario. There was a client that had two positions, an EIDL loan and a SBA loan for $1 million that he used for equipment. We're in the process right now. He has a 700 credit score. Financials are amazing. We're in the process right now of getting this client anywhere close to $800,000.
Clap it up for that.
Right.
Clap it up for that. Clap it up for that.
And okay, you just gotta let it go.
No, don't let it go.
But you know what ends up happening too is that now you have the ability to get additional funding. The bank that we have relationships that we work with, and we know what they have ability to do and not, was able to make an exception. They actually love. So this is going to be a gem. They love people that make payment. That if you have a cash advance and you have a 680 plus credit score, and you're looking to go ahead and get out of that and get something to more traditional, you're going to get a term loan. We have a bank. As long as you're in New York, New Jersey, California, Florida, Michigan, we will be able to get you out of that. And they love the fact that you can pay the cash advances as long as you did not restructure. You can pay the cash advances. They will give you a term loan to pay everything off. It does not matter as far as your debt to income, but you do have to have a 670 score, not a 680, a 670. But you have to have financials. Last 2 years tax returns on the business. Last 2 years tax returns on the personal side. Last 4 months bank statements. A business debt schedule, and obviously year-to-date financials, meaning year-to-date balance sheet, year-to-date personal, year-to-date balance sheet, year-to-date P&L.
Yep.
Right, and
It's lighter than the SBA still.
It's amazing. It's better than everything else.
No, it's lighter. I'm saying the paper.
Yes.
No, yeah, it's lighter. Plus, you don't have to deal with you don't have to deal with an E-Trans score. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you guys, like we've had people that got approved for traditional programs that couldn't get approved for an SBA, and we're like, why? So one financial institution will do it, but another won't. Why? Like why? I don't know. Yeah, dude, I don't want to talk. I don't speak badly about it, but I mean,
So,
you know.
I mean, it's
That happens in my world in banking. That's pretty common.
yeah.
It's crazy though,
What
Jay.
are your experiences, Jay? Tell us. I don't know.
Each institution. I mean, the big ones they're probably gonna be all the same. That's what I mean. But the like medium size or community banks or credit unions or whatever, they all have different credit standards based on like I think they meet quarterly and they decide whether they're gonna like allow some more, more lenient on credit scores, more lenient on duration. Like a lot of times they'll squeeze it and only want to do 5-year maximum for everything, and then sometimes they'll extend it out. But they're all different based on wherever they're.
And Jay, that's what we do in the house. We actually literally have someone, you guys haven't met him, because he does not. He has a lot of great banking relationships. He literally flies from state to state, understanding what the guidelines are, letting us know what it is. And Jay, I would love to have a conversation with you. After this, like I said, my email jmartinez, letter J, MARTINEZ, LMAcapital.com. Let's have a conversation because what we do is the same thing. And it's not we're not looking to hurt anyone, right? But we're looking to help. Where if we can help a business individual learn how to become bankable, that's amazing. Because listen, it's us as minorities. So let me just speak about myself as a minority, right? What happens is we don't know what financial literacy is. I did not know how important credit score was, right? Until I literally build this company with a partner of mine, 2 partners of mine, Lucas and Stanley, right? And Stanley was like, yo, credit repair. Let's focus on credit repair. We have to fix up credit repair because our clientele, a lot of it, especially if we were in an area where the demographic is minorities, is financial literacy. I said, okay, I think it's a bunch of scam. I thought it was a bunch of bull. Here, my credit score a couple of years ago was 572. After I went and I said, listen, make me a subject first, make me a believer so I can go ahead and translate it to everybody else. My credit score right now is 750 from a 500 credit score. It's insane because they were able to remove stuff from before. Yeah. So just so you know, when you go to collection, when you go into credit repair, make sure everything is in collections. We can't do anything at all, and we don't offer it because it's not a program that we want to push on people because we're not a credit repair company. But we will go ahead and offer it to clients that there's a benefit, there's an exit strategy. We're a financial marketplace. We're not a cash advance company, right? And I laugh at everyone says, oh, so you guys do cash advances. What's your payback? I'm not a cash advance company. We're not a cash advance company. We're a financial marketplace that puts you in a much better position. We laugh at cash advances. Why? Because we have the ability to take you out of it that no one else is able to do. And that's what it is.
Now that doesn't mean that we won't fund cash advances because we listen.
We do that all day.
We will definitely get it done. But
if that's what you qualify for,
but listen, we can't be just the guys that do bank products and nothing else. When you come to us, we want to get you funded. We're gonna go for the best. But at the end of the day, if the best is not for you, then we have to get you what you qualify for. And that is it. We rarely turn clients away. We rarely have declines because there's a program for everybody. And if not, you at least can find somebody to co-sign for you. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's, being able to pivot and being able to go ahead and provide some kind of approval is better than a denial. And I tell people that all the time. Sometimes people apply and they want a super large credit limit on a credit card and all they get approved for is $3,000. Listen, you guys could have been denied.
We'll tell you why. But we will tell you why you haven't gotten that limit.
Exactly, because perfect credit doesn't mean.
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Hey, Jay.
No, I mean what you just said. Tell you why you didn't get that limit. That's actually what I'm looking for. That's what you won't get at
correct.
Other.
Perfect credit usually doesn't mean that's a perfect borrower. right? So if you don't have history of borrowing, if you don't have exposure to credit lines, the banks are not going to be the first one to open it. If you have a 500 Discovery card, the bank is not going to give you a $50,000 line of credit. They're not.
Yeah.
So you need to have exposure to credit as well. The good thing about the LendMate, which is a financial marketplace, is that they are exposed to all the products. So if you want to be able to qualify for a premier lending, but you're not there yet, they're gonna tell you, hey, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna have to do. And they're gonna build you up to it because they not only have the knowledge, but they also have the resources and the programs.
Yeah.
So the other shops are just like a one program shop, and like they're either gonna sell SBA or they're either gonna sell you MCA or they're either gonna sell you a credit card stack.
And the other shops are sending us over deals.
all day long.
All day long.
Yeah.
But listen, I want to get to Alfonso's question, which was or comment. I like this product, Jose. I'm in California, Island Empire. Alfonso, I need your zip code because a lot of these programs that are stated, you need to be 50 miles within the branch because they require you to go in and sign.
Yeah.
And yes, listen, we're in New York. We're in Islandia, New York, Long Island. How do we have relationships with bankers? Because we do right business.
Yeah.
That's one of the main key points is we do right business for our clients. They see it, they understand it, and at the end of the day, we do all the legwork. We pull credit. It's a soft credit pull. We make sure that we collect all the documents for the clients. We then, on top of that, tell the client if they have to pay something off. I'll tell you this, bankers. I received a call today from a banker. He was like, Jose, listen, you know what? So I handle a lot of COIs. So COIs are called Center of Influences. And he's like, listen, you guys spoiled me. You guys spoiled us because you send a client with the perfect credit report.
Yeah.
That understands what he needs, plus the financials. You understand our guidelines. I just had someone else that sent me 4 people that were in collections. And that's it. That's the process. That's our value.
Yeah.
What do? We make sure that we underwrite the file beforehand, before the bank, understanding the bank's guidelines, so that we can go ahead and fix it, understand it, and make it better so we can move forward.
If you don't package the deal right, none of our programs are going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We are very document oriented sales professionals, I have to tell you, because each program requires different documents. Some require no documents at all. You have to be able to know what documents you need from what clients so that you could go to some of these different programs. Again, if you would have told somebody that only does MCAs that I could get your client that only does $5,000 a month, and I'm able to go ahead and potentially get him up to $50,000 stated line of credit, and that guy goes back to the sales guy at MCA and said, no, I got a $50,000 line of credit at a bank. Meanwhile, he only has a Vader offer of $5,000. That sales guy's going to have no idea how he got beat. But it's a company like ours that have the programs.
Yeah. And we have the right people, the right team to be able to make it happen.
Yeah.
It is. And I'll give him his flowers because at the end of the day, it is having the right people in place that understand how lenders work, have the relationship, and have the ability to speak to lenders on the day-to-day. And you know what? At the end of the day, lenders make the exception. Why? Because we send you so much business.
Yeah.
It comes as simple as that. Let's be cocky. You know what? I send you so much business, make an exception. Or, you know what?
Somebody else will get the deals.
Not even that. We'll syndicate on it. If I believe in your business so well, we'll put the money up. And that gives you leverage. And what we have is leverage.
Yeah.
Aside from everything else is leverage. So with that being said,
let's get these final thoughts going.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Well, you want me to just...
No, I'll give my final thoughts.
No. So start with Lucas. We'll go down the line.
Lucas, go ahead. Give your
Focus
final
in. Camera in. Solo.
Damn. I don't even know what to say anymore.
What are you running for president?
Let Lissette handle this and then come back to me.
Okay.
No, I'm going to just hold this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, understand that it's not about your credit score. It's not about your credit profile. It's about the need. What do you need, right? What is the purpose of the capital? What is the return on the investment? Don't stay focused on your credit score. Bankers, anyone you speak to, if you have a 680 plus credit score, Go to the bank first. Let them reject you. Come to us after that, right? If you have below a 680 plus credit score, banks will reject you. Don't even set foot in there. But just understand that at the end of the day, what we do provide are options. Options in order to make you bankable. But understand what the return on investment is. Working capital is not an answer. That's ridiculous. You wouldn't walk into Chase and tell them that I need money for working capital. If you're going to ask for money or ask for funding, have a plan and understand what the return on the investment would be. That's all I got to say. Lucas.
That is beautiful. I'm going to give a marketing tip then.
Go.
So,
Yeah.
In marketing, in copywriting, less is more, right? The more you over-explain or explain the product, the more you're going to give people to think, more time to think about, and more options to procrastinate on it. So keep it short, sweet. Make sure that it's exactly what they want to hear. It's exactly what everyone needs, and a call to action right underneath. And then just see them filling out your application and get people funded.
Nice.
Okay. Wait, hold on. We're going to do something different that we've never done before. Jay, I want your final thoughts. Can we get them?
Yeah, Mr. Sandiford, got some final thoughts for us?
Final thoughts, brother. What do we have?
No, I think that, well, at least for me, my big takeaway is just get them to apply. And then I'm thinking of just myself too. And then we go from there, because that's kind of how I got my foot in the door, like 5 years back, with just, I thought I was going to get rejected, but then, gave me a game plan. So I think that's what I need to deliver to relay that message.
And hold on.
Application, and then you'll get a game plan. If it doesn't work out, you can get a game plan.
Yes.
Months down the road,
Joe,
and then it might.
Jay, you've been with us. I think you from the message, you've been with us for quite some time. It's one of the biggest things is the intake form. Do not think that you have to know everything. I think I said in several different podcasts is where I didn't know everything when I first started off. I quit my first job, right, in sales. And the reason why is because my mentor just didn't tell me, Jose, listen, you have to just ask the preliminary questions. Now, just put it in perspective. If you want, most people want to be proactive to get everyone the information, right? A client, all the information. But what if you're giving him the wrong information? Mr. Jones, send me this, send me that, send me this, send me that. But he doesn't meet the minimum criteria. A lot of the times is understand that it's okay for you to say, hey, I don't have the answers for it. One example I'm going to give.
You're not closing the deal on the first call. Right. I guarantee you that it's going to be 3 or 4 calls.
One thing I've learned over, and I've said over and over again, is learn the reference, the doctor and the nurse, right? When you go to the doctor, you don't really go to the doctor and ask the nurse to give you a full diagnostic, right? What do? They take your vitals, what's your weight, do you have any symptoms, and they take your blood pressure. Aside from that, they don't tell you anything else. Then the doctor comes in looking at what they took down to tell you, hey, you based on your tests, your results, or whatever it is that's down, is this, and this. That's the doctor. That's a sales representative. You, in the very beginning, when you're first starting off, you're the nurse. What's your intake form? The intake form is what's your credit score? How much do you gross a month? Do you have any real estate? And also, what is the purpose of the capital? And if no one says anything to that, do you have a cosigner? Right, that's it. That's all you're gonna say.
And you know what they're doing? They're checking the vitals of the deal. Is this a potential deal?
That's it.
That's really what it is.
Because if you are not, if you don't meet the vitals of the deal, then
the minimum requirements,
why are we
vitals,
talking to you?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, not even why we're talking to you. I don't want to sound that harsh. Why do I want to waste your time to get me the documentation that it's going to get you approved for whatever program you think you qualify for? Because let me just tell you plain and simple. No, you don't qualify for this, right? Or if you go to the doctor, no, you don't qualify for Ozempic. It's not.
Yeah.
Right? You don't qualify for this, you don't qualify for that, etc. But it's just understanding. Understand what exactly it is that you need in the very beginning. And like I said, I quit my very first job because I was never told you don't have to know all the answers. A lot of us guys that start off, they're like, look, the phones stop ringing. A lot of our guys they start off like, oh, send me the guidelines. What's this? What's that? No, less is more, because I don't want you to know this, because then you're going to try to underqualify. You're trying to qualify the client over the phone.
You're trying to underwrite the file before.
Yeah,
you get it.
it's 4 steps, guys. Intake form is the first one. The second one is the proof of documents or whatever it is that they're going to provide you. And then the third one, it's a matching with the lender. And then the fourth one is a closing. Yeah. So it's you on the first step right now. You can't qualify for them for the third step yet. You have to ask the first step questions. And then you get the second step, which is the documents that prove that what the person said to you, it's actually right or is true.
Correct.
And then you're gonna get them, issue them an approval.
And ladies and gentlemen, well, before I get into my final thought, so I'll let you guys know, documentation is super important, and knowing your programs is super important, because you can get a sick approval for like, let's just say in the MCA space, I was able to go ahead and get somebody an 18-month term, 0% closing costs. Now I was able to get them $250,000, and the rate was great, like a 1.25. In our MCA space, we think that's a great deal. But what if that guy's trying to buy a building or something like that? It's a sick approval, but it's the wrong program for the guy. I'm trying to bridge the gap, because I want to let you guys know that you guys have to understand why these people need the money. That's a huge important question, because depending on when they need the money, what they're looking to do with the money, and how soon they need the money, that will determine the program that we go for, and we get the necessary documentation to get it done. But let me just wrap this up. Whether you're for it or against it, tonight's episode made one thing clear: that credit scores may be useful, but they're no longer, it really shouldn't be the whole story. If you're a modern broker, you need to know when to lean on it and when to challenge it. Again, many different programs out there. Don't just lean on one particular product. If you have the ability to pivot, go to a different program for said person, depending on the credit score. Utilize it. Utilize your tools. Ask the pertinent questions. Radical, cue the outro music. I'm your host, Darren Mills. Thank you guys for tuning into tonight's episode. To my left, I have Jose Martinez, and far to the other side, we got Lucas Mora. Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have our traditional Tequila Thursdays, and we're going to have a full panel.
And we're going to have a report on how the event went yesterday.
We're gonna tomorrow.
Alfonso, great guys. Thank you, guys.
Take
care, guys.